to the time when the work is completed and that work order gets closed in the ERP, right? Between those 12 hours of a shift or 8-hour shift, right? There are a world of things that happen in between that. And that is what we are basically trying to optimize, right?
So your product also offers maintenance functions, which is clearly an important factor for the mining, chemical, and CPG industries, as a large part of their functions are automated. Could you share how your product manages maintenance and the benefit it brings to the company as a whole?
Got it. Makes sense. So Harsha, I think, yes, actually maintenance is a core part of what we deliver to the industries that we work for, and how to get planned maintenance as well as the preventive sort of maintenance that you do done more efficiently is a primary outcomes that we generate. If you look at the level of automation that is there, right? I think there's a huge amount of automation when it comes to the desk bound persona. Like for example, you have entire maintenance scheduling and planning that happens in the ERP. There is something called plant maintenance module which does that. There's a lot of automation when it comes to how do you maintain the asset history and all the tasks that have been performed on it. So as soon as the part of the value chain that we look at in a big way, right, is where a maintenance work order is issued from the ERP to the time when the work is completed and that work order gets closed in the ERP, right? Between those 12 hours of a shift or 8-hour shift, right? There are a world of things that happen in between that. And that is what we are basically trying to optimize, right? Which is where we believe that there's a huge underutilization of technology. And it is a 0 to 1 game that is being playing out, right? In 50 to 60% of the customers that we got, it is the unorganized part of the value chain that we organized on a single integrated environment, rather than, let's say, replacing another connected worker platform, or let's say another point solution, which is digital nature, right? So that's one. How we do that is that if you look at the again the value chain of work execution, the starting point of it is an SOP. Now these SOPs are long paper-based documents, 20-page, 50-page things, which you are actually expected to know by heart, go through training programs. There is the first gap there is that there is very little measurement into the learning outcomes, right? You do not really know who is your best worker. If, let's say, today you look at any large plant in the country, right? Go to a big steel plant and there would be at least 2,000 workmen who will be entering that org every day, right? Who is your best performer and who is, let's say, someone who needs a particular type of training? This data is not objectively available. So that's the first part, which we standardize by building work instructions from SOPs. So what we mean by this is, rather than we move from that encyclopedia model, or let's say age old, how, let's say, navigation was done, right? Go and read a map, study it, then go, when you try to navigate, ask few people are there, and then go to, let's say, getting to a Google Maps type of an interface, right? Which at each point tells you do this, do that. You can this, if this is the problem that you expect, this could be the possible solutions based on how we executed the previous time, right? So the very first part is, how do we bring in work instructions which are going to help people execute their work in a less people dependent way, right? So that's second is that we enable a consumer like experience which can help you solve technical problems faster. If you look at most of the customers that we work with, a lot of them have very rampant usage of tools such as WhatsApp, right? Which actually shows the limitation of tech that is there, that there is a genuine need for people to collaborate, communicate faster, and get things done faster. Whereas there's an absence of an integrated tool within their workspace to do that, right? So that's where it is. And there's a lot of vertical innovation that is happening there, right? Which Maximl is plugging into, right? On the AR, VR front, how do you collaborate and solve problems in a more of an immersive experience? So that's the second part of what we achieve by superior collaboration and solving problems faster. And the third thing is, as I talked about it earlier, right, which is real-time compliance. we have modeled these things within our work instructions called control points, right? Control points are nothing, all of the are nothing but points that are you are supposed to comply with, right? Let's say if an equipment is supposed to be at a certain temperature and only then you can open it. Those are the things that we can control both at a machine level, at a PLC level, at a process and a human level as well, right? So that is the power of the platform, which can deliver real-time compliance while you execute this. And once all of this is executed, there is there's a huge flux of data that gets generated, which was never digitalized and was never available for any let's say data-driven continuous improvement initiative, right? Be it your Six Sigma, Lean, TQM, TPM, all of this have either data that is very difficult to use because it is present on paper or in forms that cannot be consumed and analyzed very quickly. So they completely rely a lot on the machine data that is out there, but this entire invaluable information which is present in the minds of your workforce in a tacit form over time gets digitalized and institutionalized, through which you can then go to the next frontier of continuous improvement, which is real-time understanding of gaps and basically being able to address them, right? So problems such as, why is my factory number one doing certain things better as compared to factory number two on, let's say, heat exchanger maintenance or let's say vessel maintenance, right? And how can I replicate those practices here is something that you can deliver through tech. So that's the first part, right? That comes out of this continuous improvement. The second part would be that you, as soon as you run into these problems of deviations, you are able to do these cause-effect analysis, be it of human causes or process causes, right? Who is the person that exactly needs what type of training? If there is a job tomorrow for troubleshooting, if there is a breakdown that has happened, right? Who is the person who will be able to solve it with the best probability, right? These are the things that we can make more and more data driven. So that's the holy grail of, or I would say that's the holy grail of continuous improvement and the next frontier for it, right? That you drive real time insights and drive improvement on your shop floor through data. So that is what we do for the maintenance value chain. And a large part of where we play is the undigitalized part, right? And enrich the already digitalized and mature ecosystem of ERP, APMs, and so on.